Hey guys, my name is Seizure Kaiser, one of the hosts of the best Karate Kid podcast around. Just letting you know, we got heaps of content on this channel, Comedy on Edge. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, like our videos, leave a comment, we'll respond to you. Tell us what you like about the episode, what you don't like about the episode. And do check out the other content, because we've got live shows, web series, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Okay, let's get right into this episode, the best Karate Kid podcast around, episode 3.
Yeah, I guess you can watch movies on there for free.
Can you?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I take that back. IMDb Pro, so I guess I'm paying for it anyway.
Right.
Okay.
I did not know that because I canceled my Pro account last year because I'm like, I'm not using this. Now that I knew I could watch movies on it, I'm like, well, that's worth it.
Or you can always use Kodi.
Kodi?
Yeah, it's one of those illegal streaming boxes.
Yeah. I use a website called.
Oh, Tor. Okay, well, enjoy your viruses.
No, this one's a streaming one, so you don't have to download anything.
I'm looking for a movie because my girlfriend and I during lockdown we got hooked with watching the sumo tournaments on NHK Sumo. So we've watched 4 tournaments already, and tonight's the last day of the New Year's sumo tournament.
Yep. And
there is a movie called Sumo Do, Sumo Don't. Like we're looking for sumo movies, and it looks like it's a sumo comedy, and it's a Japanese movie, and it's very hard to find it with English subtitles. You can find the whole movie on YouTube, but without subtitles.
Oh, wait. SBS has it. On demand.
No way.
I just looked it up right here.
SBS
on demand.
Fuck off.
Yeah, I'll give you the link.
Oh my god, Alicia's gonna be so happy.
So how you been, Paul? It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been forever. I don't know when was the last time I was in Australia. 5-6 years ago, maybe.
Was it that long? Can't have been.
Time, dude, slips through the hands like grains of sand.
Wait, no, 2016 or 2017 you were here, weren't you?
Was it? I have no idea, dude.
Because I remember you were here with Tony Woods at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't really have a mental time frame for that.
I remember because we were at a gig that only started in 2016. So I had to meet around then.
Okay.
Yeah. Sick.
So that was the last time you came to Australia?
Yeah, I think so. Seizure says it's 2017. But you know what? When do we do that podcast about Batman?
Oh, yeah. That would have been, around 2016, 2017. Because I only started that in 2015. That was
a fun rant session.
Oh, I'm gonna bring that podcast back eventually. After this one finishes the first season of this show, which we're gonna go through all the Karate Kid media, all the movies, the Cobra Kai show, the animated series, all the rip-off movies, all the sketches, all of it. Yeah.
Okay, so explain the animated series. I bet it has approximately fucking zero to do with the movies.
Oh, no, Miyagi's in it and Daniel-san's in it, and they go on adventures with their little magic temple.
Okay, see, there you go. Magic temple.
I'll see if I can find the trailer. It's got to be somewhere.
They go and solve crimes with Mike Tyson.
That's a great show, that one.
Yeah, we need more of that.
Apparently, so was it the last Monday that we talked about it? That there's
Miyagi Doka?
So there's connections between the series, the animated series, and the last season of Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
So have you seen the last season of Cobra Kai, Paul?
I've not watched any of the episodes of Cobra Kai.
Oh, okay, dude, you're missing out. It's so fucking good.
the nostalgia element is amazing. Like, and it's funny. The best character I've seen in a long time is the Johnny Lawrence character. Is a guy who his brain never evolved with the times, and he's stuck in the 80s. It's so funny, so funny.
I'll get the trailer.
And he constantly saying like, "Doing this is for pussies," and he hits on ladies 80s style. Like, hey, here you go.
All right. Boom. Yeah.
Let me message. We're ready.
I'll be back in 1 sec.
You don't mind me asking, how old are you in relation to? Because I want to. Your generation. Are you Karate Kid generation?
Wait, what's that?
Are you Karate Kid generation? How old are you?
52.
50. No, you're more Star Wars generation.
Yeah, I guess. But I did see Karate Kid while I was in high school. So, you know.
Yeah. But if I ask you, who's your movie mentor? Yoda or Miyagi?
Oh, wow. Yeah. No. Definitely more Yoda, I guess, than Miyagi.
Yeah. That's how I define that. Like, because there's Gen X and millennials, and in between there's my generation. I'm 41, and there's called Xennials. So it's called a transition generation. So for Gen X is Obi-Wan or Yoda. For millennials is Dumbledore. And for that little one is my generation is Mr. Miyagi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. But even if I was of your generation, I don't think I would put Mr. Miyagi as my movie guru mentor, because he used to be Arnold on Happy Days. You know, Yoda was always Yoda. There was not anything else that Yoda used to be. Yoda was not a silly character in a 70s sitcom.
Yeah, but you haven't seen like Yoda's before he got famous videos where he was doing porn all the time.
I mean, I guess it's the same voice as Grover on Sesame Street.
Yeah, possibly.
It's Frank Oz.
Is it?
Yeah,
it's the same guy.
Frank Oz.
Wow.
Did not know that. Penis, you will take. All right, so
I just saw a video of Miyagi, Pat Morita. There's like videos from the 90s or late 80s of the funniest joke you ever heard.
Is it the short sword one?
Oh my god, It's a terrible joke.
It's so bad.
What a bad joke.
Have you seen it, Paul?
I started recording because what Paul just said, it was very funny. So
I started recording from the minute Paul jumped in.
Oh, okay, great.
And we can edit the stuff in later and all that.
Okay, maybe we should just start officially, and then when Dave arrives, we add him, and that's it.
Yeah, cool. All right.
Because he'll be
Welcome to the best Karate Kid podcast around. I'm one of your hosts. Yeah. We finally got a name.
We have a name. Yes, finally.
Even though in the previous 2 episodes we've already addressed it on a voiceover, this is us officially addressing it. Yeah.
This is the first recording episode that we have a name. Like, we had many names. What was the other one? The other one is from
Crane Kick's legacy.
Yeah. Crane Kick, Sweep the Leg.
Wax on.
What was the from Reseda? From Reseda to Okinawa.
Yep, and Reseda
was good one.
I like
Reseda Chronicles.
May I also suggest get him a potty bag?
Yep. That's
bonsai repairing for dummies.
Nice.
So my guest is not here, Zisha. So you've got your guest.
All right, and I'll introduce all the way from Los Angeles. It's Paul Ogata.
Hey, top of the morning to you.
Yeah.
Paul Ogata.
What time is it there?
It is 8:42 p.m.
We're 3:42 p.m. the next day. So
you're in the future.
In the future.
And let me tell you, it's quite bright.
So Paul is an amazing comedian. He's been touring all over the world, and he's been to Australia many, many times. We've actually gigged together in Sydney, but I live in Melbourne. Seizure, you guys have been probably gigging even heaps more together.
Yeah, and he's been very nice to me, and that's why we became friends, because I become friends with everyone who's nice to me.
That's a good starting point for friendship.
It's very.
I like to befriend the bastards, the real bastards, the people who give me a lot of flack. I bring them into my fold.
Shut up, Paul.
No, you say quiet. So, Paul, you watched the movie Karate Kid 3 recently. So
I did because Jesus hates me. So I watched it.
But wait.
God.
Is Karate Kid 3 better than what's going on in the US right now?
Look, as much of a shit show as it is here in America, Karate Kid 3 is still worse. It is
really.
It is the Matrix Revolutions of 80s martial arts sequels.
Oh, all right. I personally love Karate Kid 3 because it's so bad. It's awesome. Like
it doesn't cross that threshold though of so bad it's good. It's just so bad. It's not so bad it's good.
I don't know. You got Terry Silver, the best villain of all time.
First, can we dissect that, please? Yeah. Silva was supposed to be in Vietnam with Kreese, and the dude is clearly a generation younger than Kreese. When he was in Vietnam, was he attacking elementary schools?
There's a reason for that. He's a billionaire. He got facelift. Done.
The actor is younger than Ralph Macchio. The actor who plays Silver is actually a year younger than Ralph Macchio.
Damn, that was actually one of my trivia questions. That's I've
got this is the one that I prepared the least because actually is the movie that I don't like. Well, of course we're not talking about the next Karate Kid that actually couldn't be considered as a Karate Kid, but it's one of those movies when you go.
Wait, next Karate Kid as in with Miyagi or the Jaden Smith Karate Kid?
With Miyagi.
That's the name of the movie, The Next Karate Kid. That is the title of the movie.
I know, but there's been some confusion in the past with a few other guests, so we're just double checking.
Yeah, because it's one of those movies that you go, you just want more money out of this franchise, and you have nothing else to do. There's no more story that you can develop here. You're done. And they're like, nah, this we can have another bad guy, and we have and it's just stupid. It's a silly movie. So it doesn't have that mystic Japanese thing. In fact, I think Daniel San he pronounces karate, the Japanese pronunciation in the first two movies. He actually is corrected by Miyagi in the first movie, and he starts saying karate. And I think back in Karate Kid 3, he says karate, the American pronunciation. It's like it's one of those moments. It was like Luke Skywalker saying laser swords. It's like like you don't say laser swords.
And speaking of Skywalker, this Daniel-san is a lot like Skywalker in that they're both whiny bitches in the first movie of the trilogy. You know, I want to go to Tashi Station and pick up some power converters. Okay, but Luke's arc, he has an arc. He goes to Empire and he's a little less whiny. And in the third movie, he's a Jedi and he doesn't whine. Every single movie that Ralph Macchio's in, he's a whingy bitch, and he doesn't change. When does he become a karate Jedi? He doesn't have an arc. He just complains the whole time.
And Dave Callan just chopped in.
I totally agree. Dave, can you hear us?
Yes. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
perfect.
We can hear you.
Well, very booming audio you have there.
So
Hi,
Dave,
Paul.
Yeah. Paul, this is Dave. Dave, this is Paul.
So Dave is calling from Perth. He's joining us from Perth. He's doing over there the Perth Fringe Festival, and he ran away from all the Corona lockdowns from Victoria, Melbourne, and he's actually a free man in the free world.
It's ridiculous over here. It's like nothing has happened. Everyone's like sharing vapes and licking things, licking each other. It's nuts. I had to quarantine though for 2 weeks, but it's a small price to pay. But I did it 3 times last year because I came off
3 quarantines.
Yeah, I came off a cruise ship.
So you quarantined for 6 weeks in total.
Yeah, so the guy, one of the people at the entertainers on the cruise ship said, just quarantine with me. You'll have company and you'll get it over and done with. And I've got dogs and a bar, fully stocked bar. And I was like, you had me at fully stocked bar. Let's do this. But they changed the rules as they do day by day. And then as soon as I got back to Melbourne, I was told I had to do it again. So, it was a bit of a waste. I did it twice over East and then once over here. Yeah.
So Paul is calling from California.
Woo!
Yeah, so I'm very jealous to hear about your shows and your fringe festivals and your licking people. We don't have any of that going on here, Dave.
We have this thing called life now, Paul. It's great.
And see, in Paul's background, all those colors, it's not really lighting. It's just the fires going on in America. That's what's happening.
Yeah, it's police. Don't worry. It's a police action behind me.
It makes me feel better, Paul. I was in Melbourne and Ivan is as well, and we had the most brutal lockdown in the world in history. But
in total was 8 months of curfew at night and 1 hour only to go out to the park, wearing masks everywhere you go. It was full on. Yeah.
But you all did it. You abided by the rules, and that's why you can not be in lockdown anymore. In America, because Jesus wrote the rules, and we do whatever we want in America.
So, Dave, we started a few minutes earlier than you, but you can join us very quickly. We haven't even started with the plot of the story. We're talking today about Karate Kid 3. And we were saying that how bad is this movie? Paul and I agree that it's a shit movie. Seizure,
I think it's amazing.
Seizure thinks it's amazing. What do you think about the movie Karate Kid 3 compared to the other movies?
Oh, we never said compared to the other movies, but okay, fine. Yeah, put your headphones on if you want.
Would this be better or worse? If I'm sounding good now, maybe I'm not going to roll the dice on it.
I think it will sound better if you put it on because then you won't get that feedback from the audio the speakers. And I can edit this part out.
How does this sound?
Yeah, a little bit better.
Slightly better.
Yeah.
Okay. Karate Kid 3, I never saw back in the day, and I watched 1 in the cinema, and I watched 2 in the cinema, and I was all about them. I just thought they were great movies. And the scale really got bigger for Karate Kid 2 when I watched them, and when I watched it in the cinema, I was so impressed with the fact that they took it out of, his location in America, and they took it to Mr. Miyagi's ancestral home, and it was very touching seeing him catch up with his old friends and enemies and loved ones. And then the third one just scaled it right back to less scale than the first one, and I just thought this was a really interesting choice. Surely you expand as you go, and the more money you make, the more money you invest back into the product. But 3 was like, it just seemed like a cash in. It genuinely seemed slapped together.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because in the first episode of the podcast, we were discussing how it all takes place in this one little strip mall, nowhere else. This is the whole universe of Karate Kid.
Sorry, the third one does, or the first one?
Basically, the whole series revolves around this one little strip mall.
Oh,
yeah.
That's true. Yeah. So I was surprised about the third one, just scaling it right back and then being so small in vision and so on. But having said that, the fact that I didn't see it back in the day because I'd heard it was bad, and I saw the trailer and I went, oh no, I need to just preserve my memory, leave my memory intact of the first 2. Having said that, I watched Karate Kid 3 after watching Cobra Kai season 3. And I thought it was great fun. I really liked 3.
See?
I really did like it. And I think it was down to Thomas Ian Griffith, who played
Terry Silver.
Terry Silver, who I hated initially. The first few scenes he was in, I was like, who is this guy? He's chewed up the scenery, and he's just like, he has this bizarre laugh, and he's just getting carried away at every step. And then as the movie wore on, I was like, I love this guy so hard. I just think he's amazing. And I can't wait to see him with 30 years life behind him if he comes back.
But season three Cobra Kai makes you think that he's coming back, because the end of it's the only way. Like, it's the only way they're gonna. It's Chris is calling a friend because he's defeated and he wants some help, and it looks, oh my God, what a handsome bastard.
He's become quite the silver fox. You know what's interesting is,
that's a guy who looks like he's old enough to have fought in Vietnam in number 3. Not how he looked.
Have you folks talked about this? Because he's only 1 year old. He's actually 1 year younger than Ralph Macchio.
Yeah. Paul brought it up earlier.
Yeah, you brought it up, Paul, and it's so bizarre that he was supposed to be Kreese's, Vietnam War buddy, and you probably mentioned this earlier before I came on board, but he would have been 11 in Vietnam. In the last year of Vietnam, he would have been 11 years old.
Paul, I think you said the same age. You actually said 11.
Yeah, well, it's just bad casting. I don't know why they decided, hey, let's put this kid in as he's supposed to be a grizzled war vet, and it doesn't make sense. Maybe he does look older than Ralph Macchio does, but Ralph Macchio's got a weird thing where he hardly ages, and I bet there's a painting in his living room that gets older every year. He keeps his youthful appearance, and then now he doesn't even look old. He looks like Rachel Maddow on MSNBC, for crying out loud.
I think they use this character because probably this was a time of Steven Seagal, and they look like the ponytails and martial arts look pretty badass or terribly bad, and we want a ponytail and Steven Seagal look alike to be the bad guy, and probably they didn't have the money to get Steven Seagal to do the movie, or Steven Seagal, because it wasn't Aikido or any martial art. They like, no, I'm not gonna do that, because that's what I thought as a kid. And I saw the trailer and go, oh my God, they got Steven Seagal. No, it's not Steven Seagal. He's another guy.
They tricked you. They got your money.
They tricked me, yeah.
They cast Thomas Ian Griffiths before they knew he had any martial arts experience. And that character was supposed to not be a martial artist. He was supposed to be a businessman. And that's why they had his protege there, who was a martial artist, to come in and fight Ralph Macchio. And then they figured out he was great at karate, and he'd also done taekwondo, and they were like, we got to rewrite the script. We've cast all these people historically over a trilogy who can't do karate, and we have to make them. And now we've got one person who actually is a black belt in 2 different martial arts, and we haven't got them doing anything.
That's funny. That's very funny. So,
but you don't even need the ponytail to make him the bad guy. He's smoking a cigar in the bathtub. That makes you a bad guy. That's the sign.
Wait. It should be here.
You got the scene?
Yeah, I got the scene right here. This is my favorite.
And he's got the bling bling. He's got bling bling in the. He's a mafia guy. Like, how can we turn a guy in a steam room mafia? You just get him a big ring, a gold necklace, gold chain, and
I don't understand how you can be using a phone, an 80s phone, in a sauna. Like, were they better than phones today?
Listen, we haven't done the thing that we always do at the beginning of the show. I want to talk about Paul's and Dave's relation to the movie when the movie started. And for example, Dave, you have a martial arts background. We had a quick chat, Paul and I think Paul is more, even he's watched all the movies. He's more like a Star Wars generation. So let's talk about Paul. What's your connection with the movie? Your emotional connection with the franchise?
Well, I grew up in Hawaii, and that's where Karate Kid 2 was filmed. It was on the northern side of the island in a town called Kaneohe. But they made it look like Okinawa. And when I say they made it look like Okinawa, they built wooden shacks there. That's all they did to make it look like Okinawa. So I got that connection to it. Also, Pat Morita he was pretty well known in Hawaii. He used to live there. He split his time between Hollywood and Vegas and Hawaii, and he had a fondness for the island. So when I first started doing comedy, I met him, and he used to come to the shows and drink heavily. And after one show, he came up to me and he was lit, dude. He came up, he's like, "Paul, hey, you're very funny. You're going places." And I was like, "Oh, thanks." He says, "You're going down, but you're going." So, Pat Morita was actually the first celebrity autograph that I got. Somebody saw him in a show in Vegas or something, and they got his autograph and brought it back to me when I was a kid because he was on Happy Days. Immediately I wanted to watch the first movie because it's an Asian guy starring in a movie. You hardly ever get to see that back in the day, where it was an Asian person as the star of the movie. So I really looked forward to that, and I enjoyed the entire series of Karate Kid movies up until after Karate Kid 2.
The good ones. That's amazing. Actually, we have. I think we're doing something better than the other Karate Kid podcasts. Seizure. We have someone who actually met Pat Morita.
Yeah. And but if we have anyone on the podcast that's met Jaden Smith, we just ban him. It's we don't talk about that Karate Kid.
Yeah, because it's Kung Fu Kid.
Also, the little girl in Karate Kid 2 who climbed up the pole to ring the bell towards the end of the second movie. She's now a friend of mine. She became a Miss Hawaii later on in life. Yeah.
I got the best guest. I win this one.
The best guest. She's on season 3 of Cobra Kai, because you haven't seen the entire Cobra Kai series. So she's actually, your friend is on season 3 of Cobra Kai.
Oh, wow. I got to hit her up then.
Yeah, yes, please.
Tell her we want her on the podcast if she can ever come on.
Right. Or just a shout out.
Yeah.
Will do.
Just a little video saying this is for the shittiest Karate Kid podcast.
No, the best Karate Kid podcast around. And Dave, what's your connection?
I saw the first Karate Kid in the cinema, and I just thought it was the best. I thought it was so great, and coming out and all the kids around me doing crane kicks and stuff, and avoiding them with my face, unlike William Zabka. And I remember saying to my dad, "I really want to do karate," and my dad just turned to me and goes, "They'll beat the shit out of you." I was like, "Oh, I guess that's a no." I think he didn't realize that martial arts classes, they tend to be quite nice to you. Well, for a while anyway. Yeah, and he was probably envisioning Cobra Kai to be most dojos, whereas it's the exception. Yeah. So anyway, I loved it, and I thought it was great. And then the second one was fantastic. I enjoyed the second one more as an adult than a kid. As a kid, I think I just wanted more action and more kind of karate, I guess. And then as I grew up, and the themes of seeing people you haven't seen for a long time really came out, and how lovely it is to kind of reacquaint with old friends who you haven't seen maybe, and coming back, that homecoming, coming back to a place you used to live or grow up especially, really meant a lot to me. So I think 2 is a beautiful movie now, whereas as a kid, I dare say I found it even a bit boring, but it's not. However, the action at the end I didn't love. In the second Karate Kid, it's not as well thought out, the final kind of battle scene. It's a bit
the zip line down into
a bit of a brawler.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good. That part was great. No complaints there.
Can I also add, by the way, Sato-san in the second movie, Danny Kamikona is the uncle of one of my best friends in life.
What the fuck? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And he since passed away, so I didn't bring it up. But now that we're opening the bone on it. Yeah.
Wow.
Danny Kamikona was my best friend's uncle.
Wow.
You're basically the linchpin through which all Karate Kid things pass. You're like the center of the Karate Kid universe.
It's like
That's
6 degrees of separation from Karate Kid.
Yeah. Well, okay, and also Yuji Okumoto, I ate at his restaurant and got to meet him in Seattle. It's a place called Kona Kitchen, and they serve Hawaii food. And he actually works there and serves the food. So I did get to meet him too.
Is
Man,
that
How come you're not on the new season of Cobra Kai?
Chosen, yes, Chosen.
That's Chosen. So he has a restaurant. Oh my god. Hawaiian food. Oh, beautiful.
I'm banned, however, from the restaurant.
Well, okay. Oh my god. Give us
Banned by Chosen.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's that?
Yes. You're banned from
He
the
brought
restaurant
my
because
food to my table, and I said, "Does your sensei teach you how to cook with spear?" No.
That's
wow.
fine.
So you have a lot of connections. So if you don't, people who don't know about Dave is also a martial artist, and you have included martial arts in your comedy shows. And was it 2 years ago or a year ago you did a show at the Adelaide Fringe Festival that you what was the name of the show?
Yeah, so I did a few years ago. I did a dancing show, and I'm not a dancer, but I thought it'd be funny if I learned a few dances. So I call that a little less conversation, because I was a stand-up and I was doing less talking, so a little less conversation. And then I figured out that the next line in the Elvis song was a little more action. So I thought, oh, I better start studying martial arts then. And I did Taekwondo as a kid a little bit after my dad decided that they weren't going to beat the shit out of me. And then as an adult, I did Aikido for about a year and a half. And then I found a ninjutsu school, genuine Bujinkan ninjutsu school in Melbourne. And a friend was training there, and I did that as a joke. And then, because it's funny to say you're a ninja, it's just funny. And then
that's total commitment.
Yeah, total commitment to the bit. And then
Irish
and then I
ninja.
found yes, and then I found that I loved it. I really, really loved it, and I ended up going to Japan a few times, like once a year for about 5 years in August, and ramped up my training. I was training 5 times a week over that 5-year period, and I got to 4th Dan black belt before all the stuff, the COVID stuff happened, but genuinely loved it and genuinely threw myself into it. So I, as a kid, watched Ralph Macchio going, yeah, he's the Karate Kid, he's doing karate. And then as an adult, I was like, oh, he hasn't done much karate.
Yeah. I've brought this up in the previous episodes because I did some karate when I was a kid back in Venezuela. And I also did some Aikido, and I've never got to any advanced level. I've been always shit as a martial arts practitioner, but I love the entire culture behind. But when I see Karate Kid, I go Ralph Macchio, like Daniel San, like you watch the movies and you go, he's shit. He's a terrible martial artist. He's tense. Yeah. He's so nervous. He has no confidence in whatever he's doing. He's just lucky.
yeah, he's lucky he used a crane kick at the very end. He was so great. He's so wonderful, Ralph Macchio. Like, the casting was just superb, and I guess it helped that he didn't look like he knew what he was doing, and he was super nervous, because that's what the scene in the script called for. I mean, he was taught away from all the other kids by Mr. Miyagi, and he was kind of almost cheated into learning martial arts by with the wax and the painting and all that sort of stuff. So it makes sense that he hadn't really had a bout before. He had never sparred with anybody else when he got to that grand final, which is what makes it so much more exciting. But you would think by the third, the other one back on for continuity.
Yeah, good. I just gotta change this over. Yep, now you're on the right side.
We should all change clothes. Hold on, let's do it.
Yeah.
It'd be great if we could. It's amazing because, like, me and Seizure are wearing the same color T-shirt, and you.
Oh yeah.
Oh
wow.
Color T-shirt.
Yeah.
And what's weird is that
weird. It's like,
that
we
both
teams.
Yeah, we both like the movie. They both hate the movie.
Oh.
Yeah,
we're team like the movie.
But the thing is, like, you and I, Dave, are Team Miyagi-Do, and Case and Seizure and Paul are Team Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Oh wow, is that so? Yeah, right. Interesting.
And I haven't done my homework. Like, it's a very clumsy podcast because I'm supposed to prepare 5 trivia questions about this movie, and I have nothing.
What's a trigger question? What is that?
Okay.
Did you say trigger question?
Trivia questions.
Yeah.
Oh, trivia. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay. So where you were talking when
Oh yeah. Yep. I simply.
So you did a show. You did a show. How was the show with martial arts in it? What was the show like? A little more action.
Yeah, it was fun. So we actually recreated the All Valley tournament, the Karate Kid All Valley tournament, as part of that. Because we did like a montage of the history of martial arts and popular culture, and so I was Daniel LaRusso, and my friend had a blonde wig on, and he's got a shaved head, and so he had the blonde wig and the black headband rather, and he had the Miyagi the Cobra Kai gi on, and so
nice.
we recreated the All Valley, and then we did quick changes in front of everyone live on stage. We went from Karate Kid 1980 whatever it was to Street Fighter 2, and so he took off his gi and he had like Muay Thai shorts on, he had a shaved head, and so he became Sagat very quickly from Street Fighter, and I just ripped the sleeves off my Miyagi-Do.
You're right. Became Ryu.
Yeah, and just put a red headband on. It was a very quick change. It was fun. I thought it was a great show. It was really hard. The physical toil on my body was a lot because this guy had actually done Muay Thai, and those kicks are devastating. Like he would cork my legs, and I would have trouble walking for the second half of the show, let alone fighting. So
I remember you had weapons in it. You had that chain thing that you throw the chain.
Yeah, so at the end of a movie called Kill Bill Volume 1, there's a character, and she has a spike ball on a chain, and she fights Uma Thurman's character.
Gogo Asahara, yes.
Yes.
And Paul, tell us how you're related to her or whatever the fuck.
Because we're all related, all the Asians.
That's not what I meant. Oh no, I'm gonna look like a racist.
Tinder, it was Tinder.
So that weapon is called a meteor hammer in Chinese martial arts, and that was, I think, a Japanese version of it. But the meteor hammer is traditionally a big ball of brass on a chain, and it's about 1.5 arm lengths, and so you wrap it around one wrist and then you swing it around the other hand, and you can drop it out of the sky, which is why it's called a meteor hammer. Or you can shoot it, or you can wrap it and then shoot it out again. And so I got the microphone, and I made a dummy microphone up, made a rubber microphone, and then had the lead. And so I started fighting a heckler with this a dummied up meteor hammer. So that was really cool fun. That's a really fun weapon to learn, and it's one of those ones which is easy to learn and hard to master because the reps are really, really complicated. And if you get them wrong, at the least worst, you can't shoot the thing out again because it's all tangled up. And at the worst, you can actually kind of strangle yourself with it. So you kind of want somebody else to be around while you're practicing, in the early days anyway. But yeah, that was the show. It was called A Little More Action, and once COVID's done, I'm going to take it to phase 2 and do it maybe in Melbourne or Perth.
What about Sydney?
Or Sydney. I like to develop stuff in Melbourne or Adelaide, and then take it to bigger festivals or bigger cities. Yeah.
Fair.
So I usually go Adelaide, Melbourne Fringe, Perth, Melbourne Comedy Festival, Sydney Festival, and then Edinburgh, in that order.
So, Paul, I don't know, out of the 4, I don't know if you have done or mentioned Karate Kid in one of your shows or do something related to Karate Kid, but already Seizure, Dave, and myself, we have included Karate Kid in our shows, believe it or not.
I better get writing. Hold on.
Yeah, but you're the only one who has met most of the cast. So my show was called The Fourth Floor, and it was about turning 40. and it was about nostalgia and my generation and what does it mean to get old. And part of my show, I started the show with "You're the Best Around" with the song that was, and I did a couple of jokes about the song, and then I mentioned Miyagi as being my mentor. And then there's a evolution of in the show where there's a couple of callbacks with Miyagi. And Seizure, your show was called Cobra Kaiser.
Cobra Kaiser. Yeah.
Three idiots, including our movies, because we run out of material. So we're doing a little game. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the trivia because I've got nothing, but I thought about a different game. It's just silly. It's not nobody wins. Let's do an order. So what do you say? We start with Paul, then Seizure, then myself, then Dave, so we can combine hosts and guests. And you start telling how the movie starts, Paul, and you tell the story, and then you're gonna say and then Seizure is gonna continue with how the movie goes, and then you go and then I keep going. And if someone says something wrong, there are no rules. You just get in and go, you're wrong. This is what happened in the movie, and then we get to tell the story in 4 voices.
Okay, so Karate Kid 3 begins by showing you the entirety of Karate Kid 1 and Karate Kid 2. And
whose turn is it now?
That's you. You're next.
All right. And then, oh my God. Then you have a rundown John Kreese going to the unemployment office, hating his life. And
then
you, Dave, yeah.
And then Martin Cove goes to the airport to pick up his old Vietnam War buddy who would have been 11 at the time. And they pass Mr. Miyagi and Daniel, who are going the other way, but they do not see each other.
Ooh.
And
then I think he takes a holiday. I think his friend goes like, "You're being Bruce, you need to recharge," and he sends him to a lovely island with masseuses and cocktails and tiki bars, and
it's actually Tahiti that he was sent to, and where he gets a girlfriend who we learn from the 11-year-old Vietnam vet. His girlfriend's name is Momona, which is actually the Hawaiian word for fat and is a overused term in movies. Because if you remember McLovin in the movie,
McLovin,
his driver's license said he lived on Momona Lane. So there you go. And
then you meet Terry Silver, a billionaire who decides to put all his businesses on hold to destroy a kid.
And then budget Steven Seagal is sitting in a bathtub chomping on a cigar, talking on a very large 80s brick phone to Sensei Kreese, and promises him 100% of his new dojo empire. And then a kid comes in and he promises him 50% of the new dojo empire. So who's he going to be screwing later on?
And we go back to Miyagi and Daniel. I think Miyagi loses his job as a janitor, and he doesn't know what to do. I think also the mom they find a way in the movie to get rid of the mom so they don't have to pay mom again, because mom wasn't in Karate Kid 2. So mom is out of the question, and it's just Miyagi and Daniel. And I think Miyagi decides Daniel has the idea to open a bonsai shop, I think.
Yes.
And
Daniel actually takes his college fund that his mom had set aside for him to go to college and goes to the Small Business Administration and gets a loan to open up a bonsai shop, which I don't know. I mean, what kind of college was she going to send him to? Like a technical online school that all he can afford is to trade up for a broken, rundown, corrugated iron-sided shop. And by the way, and then he gives Miyagi a present in a little box it's the deed to the shop. But Miyagi, in this brightly lit room, has to put on his reading glasses in order to see what's in the box. And
Mike Barnes shows up, if I remember correctly. The kid Terry Silver hires to kick the shit out of Ralph Macchio with his goon buddies who look like extras from a Power Rangers episode. And
the next scene I remember is maybe not in the correct linear continuity. So stop me if I'm skipping too far ahead. And Terry Silver goes to visit Mr. Miyagi at his house where he's training Daniel to apologize for something that we haven't talked about yet, have we? Oh, I think I've thrown the continuity in the linear structure of what we're
because
doing.
I think
I think I fucked up somewhere.
Yeah, I think there was something before after Paul's. Because I tell you, I haven't seen the movie in years. This is the time that I've been the least prepared. I know there's a moment where Terry Silver's he's at the beginning he looks like a good guy who wants to help Daniel.
Yeah.
No.
Describe
No, it's exactly it. So where I left off, where the guys come in, that's when Terry Silver jumps in, where Dave Callan was on point. Continue, Dave.
I was. Oh my goodness! I second guessed myself. He turns up to Mr. Miyagi's front garden and announces that Sensei Kreese has died for some reason, eliciting sympathy from the Miyagi dojo and making him look like a really good person for now. And
so I got the thing that I remember. He was dressed in white. He looked like a really slick kind of guy. Like I've got everything in control in my life, and he sounds like an interesting, nice dude. He offers. He's like, you want this kid? Do you want to? I think he listens to a conversation between Miyagi and Daniel that he's not interested. That Daniel is not interested in doing more karate in a competition, and he gets in there like, hey, but you want to do it, it's very fun. And he, as a nice guy, you still don't know he's the bad guy. You still think he's what's the is it petting? What's the word that I'm looking for? You know, when an old dude starts grooming. Yeah. He starts grooming Daniel-san, and Daniel-san has a little spark in the eye, like, ooh, this guy is.
Well, which I found weird, because earlier when he hires Mike Barnes and his two goons, he's in the bathtub naked, and these three teenage boys walk into his room, talk about...
And his secretary is there as well at that point.
And I'm just like, what the fuck? Man, the 80s was different.
Okay, so...
And you feel bad for the second henchman child, because the first guy, Spider or whatever, he has lines. He has speaking lines in the script. The other guy never says word one the whole movie. And so I don't even know if he got his SAG card.
So it stays there. Like, Daniel-san doesn't want to compete. Miyagi, it's fine with it. And this guy comes in, tries to groom Daniel-san. Daniel-san likes the idea, but he steps away from it. And
then they coerce him enough. They steal all the trees from the bonsai shop. And then Daniel-san remembers, oh yeah, you know what? Miyagi told me he buried a really ancient, valuable tree on the side of a cliff over an ocean. And maybe I, who is completely untrained in rappelling and using ropes as a descending device, I will take it upon myself to go and steal this tree from the cliffside and then sell it without the approval of Mr. Miyagi, so that I can get money to finance this god-awful idea, Mr. Miyagi's little trees. And
And he goes to go get the tree with his 15,000th girlfriend at the time. And
because we know, like I've said it before in other episodes, Daniel LaRusso is whom I learned how to talk to ladies when I was a kid. So he's very smooth with the ladies.
Hey, bada bing, bada bang, let's go get a bonsai tree. Hey,
bada bing, I'm from New Jersey. Bada bing, bada boom, I'm a good dancer. He's a bad karate performer, but a great dancer. You gotta give him credit.
So they go get the tree, and then they get stepped by the bullies, and the bullies ruin the tree. Then Daniel has to go back to Miyagi. Goes, they ruined the tree, and
Daniel seems to be pretty damn keen on not betraying Mr. Miyagi, but he would like to learn how to sweep. So he's on the doorstep with his ginger pottery girlfriend, asking Mr. Miyagi, how do I sweep? And then Mr. Miyagi, who's fortunately played by a stand-up comedian, goes and gets a broom and goes, you hold it like this, and then you go like this.
But I think, did you miss something? Yeah.
Oh yeah, did I miss a bit?
No, I think Seizure missed something about that. Did you say that they forced Daniel San to sign the paper to?
No, I didn't. I forgot about that part. Okay.
So yeah.
Yes.
My bad.
So when they get the rope, and he's about to like, if you don't sign the papers, I'll cut the rope and kill you guys. But
it's a real first you throw me the idol, then I throw you the whip moment.
Yeah. So continue, Dave. Sorry.
So in order to get the rappel back, he had previously signed that document saying that he would take part in the All Valley tournament. Why there is a special contract to take part in a karate tournament, we haven't ever fully understood. I think it was a slight suspension of disbelief. So he gets insulted, Daniel San, by Mr. Miyagi, showing him how to sweep with a broom, and decides to go off and visit Sensei Silver. And
Silver keeps with the grooming, and Daniel San is, I think that it's back to Cobra Kai, and he thinks Terry Silver is different from Chris because he needs training because he's being bullied again by Mike Barnes, the Johnny Lawrence 2. And he starts a complete different way of training, and you can tell that the goal of the training was just cause Daniel San a lot of pain, and
to complete the destruction of Daniel LaRusso's sterling character, Silver arranges a guy to accost Daniel's girlfriend du jour at a live music venue that they attend, which, by the way, when they walk into this venue, you hear the worst song of the Karate Kid franchise. It's the Little River Band. Are you shitting me? The Little River Band. And I apologize because I know LRB is an Australian national treasure, but it's first of all, you started the first movie with the best song in the whole franchise. You're the best around. That is such a good fight movie soundtrack. I would put it second greatest of all time, tied with Eye of the Tiger from Rocky 3.
Wow. Right? Yes. Yeah. Great songs.
And then on the second movie, you had, I think, an even better song in Peter Cetera's Glory of Love, but completely inappropriate for a combat motion picture movie.
Apart from the line, like a knight in shining armor from a long time ago.
Yeah. But just in time, I'll save the day. And while the bad guy zip lines onto the island. All right. Now, this time out, the number one greatest of all time movie soundtrack, fight movie soundtrack, is Lalo Schifrin's theme from Enter the Dragon. I don't know if you remember that. Right at the beginning. Here, I got it.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, and it's actually the first instance of sampling in music production. They sampled Bruce Lee's voice and they put it in that. Anyway, that is the number one.
Wow.
But in an odd way, Little River Band is the perfect group to be singing this shitty song in this shitty movie. And here's why it is. In every movie, Daniel gets with a girl, right? First movie, Elizabeth Shue. Then afterwards, we find out she left him for a football player from UCLA. Second movie, he gets with Tamlin Tomita. Then afterwards, we find out she left him to go sing at a Tokyo karaoke bar. All right. Third movie, the girl doesn't even stick around to the end of the movie. She's like, I'm out. And she ditches him. And is it any coincidence that Little River Band's like their second greatest hit ever was a song called The Lonesome Loser. So it all fits in perfect. And
okay, wait. I lost my place. Okay.
They're dancing and a bad guy came to fight Daniel LaRusso in the Little River Band concert.
Yeah, I just can't. Oh yeah, that's right. And then LaRusso runs away, talks to the girl, and then he's like, "No, I got to enter this tournament." And they look at, and then him and Miyagi have a D&M, deep and meaningful, and they are looking at the bonsai tree, and I can't remember what happens then.
I think I've got to correct here, unless Dave, you want to go back.
No, you go ahead.
What happens there? So this was, I think, in that concert, it was like a proper Imperial Sith Lord waiting for the trainee to go to the dark side of the Force. So,
it was very much cut off Count Dooku's hands.
Yes. So what he wanted is like, I want to get this guy to be aggressive, to attack, to forget about everything Miyagi has taught him. Miyagi was all about defense and never start a fight and never use the rage to fight. And just Daniel goes full on he goes to the dark side and he beats the crap out of this guy in a very violent and unnecessary way. And the lady goes, "Wow, you're a fucking idiot." And then he finds himself in a weird rage, kind of, what have I done? This is not me. And then, sorry, back to Dave.
And then he goes back to his Sensei Silver at the dojo, and suddenly he's training with him again, busting up his knuckles unnecessarily. And old mate Sensei Kreese walks in, who's been declared dead several scenes ago. And Daniel freaks out, obviously.
So Kreese, there's Kreese and there's Terry Silva, and they get that evil smile, evil grin, like we got you, little kid. Actually, in a very the whole dojo is dark and it's spooky, and Kreese comes behind one of the cutout cardboards silhouette, and it's like, oh my god, a ghost, he's back from the dead. And I think they're gonna start beating the crap out of Daniel when again Miyagi arrives. Am I right? I don't remember well. And
you're right. Then Miyagi shows up and beats up all the white people, which is always my favorite part of these movies. And did you know that when he threw Karate's bad boy Mike Barnes through the door, they did that shot, they shot that scene like 20 times, and every time Mike Barnes had to get thrown through the door, and that actor the next day almost died. He had severe internal bleeding. Yeah, his blood pooled up in his abdomen and he collapsed in his hotel.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why we never saw him again in the movies.
But no.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, you mean in future movies? Yeah.
In the future, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I could IMDb him right now. Hold on. No.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, Miyagi saves the day and then takes Daniel with his, will you teach me? Now will you teach me, Mr. Miyagi? And Mr. Miyagi's like, remember I used to own a restaurant on Happy Days? And then but wait. First of all, can we backtrack a little bit?
Yeah.
When Daniel's off the side of the cliff and he's stealing Miyagi's tree to sell, and the bad guys break the tree. And Daniel's
I brought that up. I brought that up.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? So then he takes it to Miyagi and says, Miyagi, I broke your tree. Can you fix it? Miyagi gets duct tape and wires and fixes the tree when we all know goddamn good and well what he should have done is this. And then grabbed the tree and fixed it. And...
Oh no. Okay, I'm lost. Oh wait, yep.
He takes on Daniel to train him the right way.
And then someone did bring up Chris comes back. Then he trains the right way once again on the beach and the sunset. Yada yada yada. I think they go back down and they replant the bonsai tree in the same spot. I believe so.
I think that's the very end of the movie when they.
It was definitely before the fight.
Because the only thing I remember about that tree is that they use a clear bottle of water and they just sprinkle the tree with a bit of water, and it looks very. It's you can tell that the green screen technology at the time wasn't that great, because you can tell it's just they're in a studio, just hanging 20 centimeters away from the floor, but So I don't remember when it was before or after. It was like the happy ending of the movie.
The movies always end at a fight. So yeah, you're right, Seizure. This was before the fight, and they're down on the cliffside, and they're replanting the tree. And what I was severely hoping for is that the bad guys would come back again, pull the ropes back up, and be like, "What's your Netflix password?"
Sweep the leg. And Dave.
Oh. So what scene we darted all about time there.
So we're back to the training replanting
yeah. Okay. So at this point we have a training montage, and that gets everybody ready for what they need to be doing. And so then we arrive at the All Valley Tournament Part 2, the second All Valley Tournament in the canon. Sorry, you were going to say.
What I don't remember, because I watched the movie ages ago, I just remember the kata, the form he's doing like that, and he's going like. So Miyagi teaches him that form, but I don't remember any house cleaning or repairing or DIY repairing situation to train him. Like there was no painting, no waxing, no nailing the fence. Was it?
No.
The underlying secret teaching that was going on the whole time was, in the first movie was do all these chores and then you'll learn karate. Hey, massage my feet, Daniel. And then the second movie was, hey, look at this drum thing, this cool drum thing. Okay, the third one is the talk about the tree, that it needs good roots, and the best the tree is from the inside. So that's that's the secret teaching.
I thought it was you give me a deed to a place, I will think, okay, you're actually a friend.
So the training, there was
I just I have my mother is going to be downstairs in 5 minutes to pick me up. I thought I only had an hour for this. I thought it would be about an hour, so I apologize. What I can do is I can actually go down with my switch to my phone and continue this podcast while walking downstairs to where my mom is and driving in a car with my mom.
And go to Reseda?
I can do that.
Well, are you moving to Reseda with your mom?
Yes, that's what I'm doing. And there's going to be 5 kids chasing the car down the road. Station wagon.
Yeah. Pushing the car. So let's wrap it up. So we got 5 minutes with Dave. So let's go to who wants to talk about the fight?
Oh, can I just talk about very, very briefly when Mr. Miyagi beat up the white guys, the dojo? He kicked Sensei Silver into a mirror, breaking the mirror, and then paint fell down on his head. So it was like a callback to Paint the Fence. I thought it was quite nicely done. Maybe a very, maybe it's a little, maybe I might be drawing a long bow there, but we arrive at the second All Valley Karate Tournament,
and so the Mike Barnes beats the crap out of everybody. He's obviously the best fighter, and then Daniel San pulls a trick, which is confusion and distraction, which is the same thing as just you're in a fight and you get naked and people are like, what the fuck? That's what he did.
Wait a minute.
Instead,
yeah,
that's what if you're in a fight, you get naked, nobody will touch you.
Have you learned this through experience?
I've learned this that's the trick in Venezuela. You just get naked and they go, oh no, that's too gay, mate. And Venezuela is a very misogynistic and homophobic culture, so they wouldn't touch you. So what he does, he starts doing this form that has nothing to do with fighting, and the guy goes like, what the fuck, man? What is he doing? And
you're right. He used theatricality and deception, which is something else learned from another shitty third installment of a film franchise. And then he throws him to the ground and strikes him and scores the final point and wins. And then the crowd boos and they throw their Cobra Kai shirts back down. Like, we pay good money for this, but you can have it back. Times are not as hard as they will be in 2008. And they throw the shirts back.
To be fair,
and then that's the end of the movie.
To be fair,
roll credits.
The shirts were given out for free. That was the part of the movie that I felt bad because I wish I was in that crowd to get one of those fucking t-shirts. He goes, everyone's going to join the Cobra Kai dojo, and just starts handing him out because he's a billionaire and he has money. He can do that. Yeah. The yellow Cobra Kai shirt is the MAGA hat of today. That's all I'm saying.
And I think we're done. Dave got to go. We've been here for an hour, and we just told the entire. You don't need to watch the movies. Just listen to this podcast, and you got the entire movie. It's been bloody brilliant. Quite different from the other 2 episodes.
Yeah. Dave, you got to go right now.
I do. Yeah. Lovely speaking to you. Nice to
love you.
To see your faces and stay safe.
Good to see you, Dave. See you soon, my friend.
Kick some ass at the shows.
Yay!
Thank you.
Yeah. Ciao, man. Bye.
Yeah. Take care, Dave. And he's hand.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us, man. This is you are the only one who did the homework. As you can tell, the both hosts of this podcast, we haven't even watched the movie. I think there is a loss for both, but Paul, because you're part of the Cobra Kai team, I think you get the points. Cobra Kai wins this episode.
Yes, Cobra Kai on the board finally. Thank you, Paul.
Hell yeah.
Because you are the only guy who actually met Pat Morita, and Pat Morita is dead, so you there's no other chance for anyone in this podcast to meet Pat Morita. So you're winning. You're winning.
Well, thank you.
All right. Real quick, Paul, is this the worst Karate Kid, or have you seen the others?
It is. I've seen the 4th one with Hilary Swank, and I like to imagine that the part 4 is that, and then part 5 is where she goes and trains in boxing under Clint Eastwood.
$1 Million Baby, yeah, nice.
Yeah, which then makes that the 5th Karate Kid film with Clint Eastwood is the best Karate Kid film ever.
It is so well directed. Oh man, thank you so much. So I need to ask this because this has nothing to do with the show, but what's your favorite Hawaiian dish? Because I love food. I just wanna, what's the most traditional Hawaiian delicious thing that you like?
I really enjoy a good bowl of poke, and it's not how people make it these days outside of Hawaii. It's very simple: fish, sesame oil, a little bit of chili flakes, onion if you like, and some ogo seaweed. That's it. There's no soybeans, there's no kale or quinoa in it. It's simple. And outside of that, it's a dish called lau lau. Look it up, Lau. It's leaves wrapped around pork and butterfish, wrapped in banana leaves and steamed, and it is wonderful.
Oh, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna, because I
I know with Paul
Seizure?
with his food recommendations, I taken him board because when I was in LA, I hit him up. He wasn't around, but he goes, "Got to go to Roscoe's Waffle and Chickens," and I did, and worth it.
Yeah. Okay. So hopefully, Paul, the new normal will change to the old normal one day, and we'll see you again in Australia, and we'll go for a big feed.
Or the podcast will be so big that we have to tour over there.
I don't think so, but yeah.
Dream big, you guys. Dream big.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Paul. Thank you so much, man.
Guys.
Thank you. Have a good night.
See you guys.
There we go. All right.
Well,
we got 3 minutes.
We were so unprepared, and I think it saved the. It was silly.
It was fun.
But again, this is what we do.
One day we'll figure out the format. One day.
One day. I promise I'll watch the next Karate Kid for next Monday, man.
Same. And I think I figured out my guess.
We have to bring them back, man. We have to bring Paul again because he has met the cast.
Oh yeah, and he hasn't seen Cobra Kai, so this is a good reason to bring him back.
Yeah. So we can make him watch. Yeah. Especially season 3, which is the whole thing with about Vietnam.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So good. So next episode, everybody, will be the next Karate Kid. I'll get my special guest. Ivan will get his, and we'll go from there.
And we'll probably watch the movie and write our questions for trivia.
Yes, definitely. And hopefully we won't go for, how long has it been now? For 40, 80, 90 minutes. We'll try to cut it down.
Yeah, easy.
All right, Ivan.
Okay, bro. See you, man.
Check us in. Bye.
See you. Ciao.